want it like me cause that like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, hey, we need more. Tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go, son. 53, Mike.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
On first down, Gates. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a party now.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
40-19! Mike, 47! I got one! I got it!
Allen now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby, sack!
A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well.
Allen hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Room here to run. A little careless with a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw, Darnold. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Gates. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You see me? You see me?
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Sack, baby!
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
We're going to work.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
56.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the...
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Boom! That's how we do it, baby.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
All day.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
53's Mike. Check 53's Mike. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
On first down, Gates. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
53, check 53. Mike, 53.
Darnold on first down.
Let's go one more.
This is the tight end fan. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
53's the Mike.
Here's Darnold.
Here we go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that a sack.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
Let's go.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on fourth. On fourth down, Darnold. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Bills are going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on the...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Let's go.
A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Operating from the red zone now, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Now Allen, escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run on first down. Gates. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on third down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together Charles. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
Sack. We got him. We got him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down now. It's Clark. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
47. Check, 47. Let's go, tight end. Half. Check 4. Half 10. Back. Check safety. Alpha. Alert. Hey, Alpha. 47's the mic.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Give me the ball.
A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played, the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Incomplete on the deep ball. Brings up third down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
You must be
This time they stay on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Watch 54. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Bills to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, Clark. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. From the 31, Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got a man complete. There he goes left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gates, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Donald. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Darnold. He's got his big tight end, Fant. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bills will add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
They can't stop you, son.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field, and they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Darnold now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. It's caught left side by Cooks. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Come on now, let's go.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
There's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a gain of 10.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Darnold now to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Bills 35, Broncos 6.
Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little.
Now a hit and a loose football.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would
even
do?
know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Clark, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Check.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. To throw, it's Allen. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. The arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now left side on the swing pass.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Darnold to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now Allen. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. 2nd and 5 now. Allen. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Check. Watch QB4. Watch QB drop.
So Allen's going to look to throw.
Check.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And another tackle broken. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
49 to Mike.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28, and he's into the clear. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Buffalo, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to